Last week, former Vice President Mike Pence told us that if the Department of Justice goes through with actually indicting Donald Trump, it would send a horrible message to the rest of the world, right? Like, we're supposed to be the beacon of freedom here in the United States, and if we prosecute a former president, that just shows that there is no justice in the U.S., is what Mike Pence was getting at last week. Well, what a difference a couple of days makes, right? Because suddenly this week, after Donald Trump, of course, was arraigned on Tuesday, Mike Pence began singing a different tune. And here is what Mike Pence has to say this week, just 4 or 5 days after he had said that it would basically crumble our democracy if we prosecuted Trump. Today, Pence says this: "Having read the indictment, these are very serious allegations. Even the inadvertent release of that kind of information could compromise our national security and the safety of our armed forces. And frankly, having 2 members of our immediate family serving in the armed forces of the United States, I will never diminish the importance of protecting our nation's secrets. And I can't defend what is alleged." Big change of heart, right? But I hope you caught what he said, right? Because last week he was up in arms saying, oh my God, this is going to destroy the United States. It'll destroy our global standing. But then he's like, hey, now that I've actually read it, oh boy, that Trump guy is quite a fiend, isn't he? So Mike, what you're telling us, oh, and by the way, when you made that statement last week, the indictment had already been unsealed. So there was literally nothing stopping you from reading the indictment before you made the statement about how democracy was in peril. You just chose not to do it. But then when it hit the point where you couldn't ignore it because everybody was reporting on it, you're like, all right, screw it, I'll read the damn thing. And that's when you had a change of heart? So Mike, you're telling me that first of all, you made an assumption without actually looking at the evidence, and then made a public statement based on your idiotic assumption because you ignored the evidence. But then when you actually looked at it, you realized, okay, I was wrong. Well, I guess I got to give you props for admitting you were wrong. But folks, this is how Republicans operate. This is what they do. This is why earlier this week, Marjorie Taylor Greene snapped at the CDC director, Rochelle Walensky, and said, I don't want my staff educated. Because Republicans don't want to know the truth, even when the truth is sitting right there. The truth is sitting in a stack of documents. Republicans say, I don't want it because it runs counter to the narrative that I'm pushing. That's what Mike Pence is admitting here. But I guess, again, at least he had, enough integrity to come out and say, like, okay, I finally looked at the evidence and I guess I changed my mind. But then he, of course, did go on and say, like, I still believe politics played a role in this, blah, 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 whatever. The point is, Mike Pence finally looked at the evidence and realized how serious this is. Something that, by the way, we're probably going to see more Republicans doing in the days and weeks to come. They're going to realize how bad this is. They're going to realize how much it's hurting the Republican Party. And they're going to finally be like, hey, you know what? I actually looked at it now and can't really support this guy anymore. But Mike Pence is also running for president and allowing one of your rivals who is under indictment in 2 different courts, allowing him to just get away with that? That would be a stupid political move. So I don't know if this is so much that Mike Pence genuinely had a change of heart or if he realized, hey, I'm running for president, he's running for president, I can use this against him, maybe I should try that. But whatever it is, I guess, Mike Pence, welcome to the reality that the rest of us are living in. And I'm shocked that all it took was a couple minutes of actually looking at evidence for you to realize how stupid you were just a week ago. Thanks for watching, everyone. And well, here comes the awkward part at the end of the video where I ask you to like, comment, and share, and subscribe for more content from Ring of Fire. Also, you should consider becoming a member for some exclusive content and perks, including early access videos and exclusive videos. Check out the link in the description.